What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the badass king himself, Bad News Bronson. I'm here today with a special guest, one of my closest friends in the world. Why don't I let you introduce yourself?
What's up, guys? This is Tiger Woods, a.k.a. Lord Daddy, Cool Diesel, a.k.a. the Big Con, and I'm coming at you with the Super Kick Party with Bronson.
Yeah, welcome to the first ever episode of Super Kick Party with Bronson. I am your host, Bad News Bronson, alongside the Matt to my Jeff Hardy, the Scott Hall to my Kevin Nash.
The sting to his face paint.
The sting to my face paint. Little Cool Daddy Diesel. So today's episode, since it's the inaugural episode, we're going to be talking about WWE Roadblock, our favorite WrestleMania moments since it's WrestleMania season. We'll be talking about speculation for Raw that's coming on tonight at 8 o'clock. I'll probably be live tweeting Raw like I always do. Are you going to be live tweeting Raw with me? I'm pretty sure you might. I don't know. Are you?
I'm going to catch it tonight. I got to.
Yeah, we got to.
I gotta catch it tonight.
It's part of the job now. Like, we got to now.
I gotta watch everything.
You gotta watch it.
Except SmackDown.
What? No, SmackDown getting good, right?
I need to catch NXT. That's what I need to catch.
Oh yeah, that's the place to be right there. NXT. All right, so we're gonna get into it. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through my favorite moments from last night's WWE exclusive Roadblock. I don't want to call it a pay-per-view because it wasn't. It was an exclusive WWE Network experience, I guess you would call it. I don't know. I canceled my subscription after Fastlane. I canceled that garbage.
I never had one. So.
Look, I'm gonna keep exploiting their free subscribers. First time subscribers get it for free. I'm gonna keep exploiting it. I'm gonna use every card I got.
I think I might check it out because they got that new low rate or whatever. So.
Oh yeah.
I might check it out. If it's not too steep, I got a job.
I mean, it's 999. Ain't that the H&R Block commercial? 999.
So you mean that ain't bad? $10 a month.
Nah, it ain't bad. It's not bad at all.
To live nostalgic wrestling moments from childhood.
Right. They got WCW, ECW, then they got all the other shit that nobody cares about, like Stampede and AWA and all that stuff that we don't even care about.
I might actually catch that Stone Cold podcast he be having.
His newest one is with Mick Foley. I think that's gonna be dope.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to have Undertaker on there too, according to Bleacher. That's what how they be trolling. They had his picture. I don't know that for sure though. They just had his picture next to the podcast. So I don't know.
Yeah, if Undertaker's on there, I definitely watch it. Cause that'll be dope. He don't never do interviews and shit like outside of anything. He don't do interviews. Period.
Man, that's a mysterious guy, man.
Right. Let's get into this Roadblock special event. The first match was the New Day, who was fucking hilarious, and then
Biggie.
The League of Big E, probably a favorite on this show, and then the League of Nations, the lads, whatever you want to call them. Not a fan of them. They're garbage. I don't really care. Wade Barrett, Sheamus, Rusev, and Alberto Del Rio. I think
Wade Barrett's tough.
I do. The thing about the League of Nations though is that they're a bunch of good like wrestlers, but they don't like fit together. Like they don't belong together. Like I'm a fan of Alberto Del Rio. Go ahead.
That reminds me of that one faction with what's that guy's name? The red hair with the long red haired guy. He got the man girl titties. What's his name?
Social Outcast? Or the 3-man band.
Yeah, we had Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, 3-man band. Drew McIntyre. Yeah. 3-man band. And another lost soul, Drew McIntyre. He was one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah. Definitely a favorite on all the old WWE games.
Definitely. Yeah. So the New Day came up on top. They defended the championships. They won, which was good. The whole Bootios thing was hilarious to me. Like, I mean, the New Day is gold, but I think they're better as like tweeners because I think WWE is trying to turn them into faces going into WrestleMania season, which is okay, but
that's not a good idea.
I like them. I like them as like the heels. They're hilarious when they rag on people.
Like they can't be cutting edge. Like they can't be like they kind of board that line of like PG and PG-13. You know, so like I feel like they make them face, then that's just gonna ruin them.
Like when Kofi Kingston says she's gonna fight your children. Like I don't think you can do that as a face. Like you can't
exactly.
do that. You can't say I'm gonna fight your children if they misbehave as a baby face. Like,
hey Bronson, let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
How does the New Day distribute their championships? You know, there's 3 of them and there's only 2 belts. So how does that work?
So they do what they call which is pretty ironic because they're being inducted to the Hall of Fame. But they use the Freebird rule, which is any member can defend the title without it being relegated to just 2 people. But anytime you see the New Day defend the title, it's either Kofi or Big E, and Xavier on the outside being his wonderful self, trolling with the trumpet, and all that good stuff. But I heard that on house shows, they'll do combinations of the 3 guys, so it'll be Kofi and Xavier defend it, or Xavier and Big E will defend it. That's a team, and then Big E and Kofi. So I guess on house shows they differentiate, but on live TV it's usually always Big E and Kofi defending it.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. So that was a pretty decent match. Then we go on to which was probably the most boring match I've ever seen Chris Jericho ever wrestle in his life against Jack Swagger.
Oh my God, I know that's terrible.
Now let me explain something to you, right? Chris Jericho is a Canadian. Roadblock was in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Chris Jericho just turned heel. So what would possess the WWE brass to put a real American in Jack Swagger to save the day from a Canadian heel in Canada? That don't make no sense.
Call Drake.
That don't make no sense. I would have loved to see Drake come in there and do something rather than Jack Swagger. I haven't seen Jack Swagger in like almost a year. When I did like Jack Swagger, after he went away, with this whole angle with Vicky Guerrero and Dolph Ziggler, after he went away, then he came back as a more no nonsense wrestler. Like he came back with his fists taped, and he was brawling people and putting people in the ankle lock, and he was looking dope. And then all of a sudden,
Zeb Coulter?
Yeah. It was before Zeb Coulter came in, but it was around that time. Because remember he faced Alberto Del Rio for the World Championship. That WrestleMania he came back, which we all expected. But I like that Jack Swagger better. He was as a heel, no nonsense, all that other stuff. And then when he was with Cesaro, who is one of my favorite wrestlers. In the tag team.
Man, the WWE has a special way of really killing good talent. I feel like they cannot keep good talent strong looking in a sense. Just with Roadblock, Brock Lesnar versus the Wyatts. Why did the Wyatts look so weak? They used to be a force to reckon with.
Right.
I mean, they were unstoppable. Now look at them. They were basically the WWE's leading heel at one point, and now they're just basically glorified jobbers.
To the stars, jobbers to the stars, and it's crazy. It's crazy because during Wyatt's initial debut, he was so dope. I was like, oh, this dude is gonna come in. He's the new era Undertaker. He's mysterious. He's brooding. He's got a gang of people with him. That could be considered his ministry. He was gonna be dope. And then he just lost to John Cena. Then he lost to I forget who else after that. I guess it was no point because he just went downhill from there.
Maybe I feel like he hit his pinnacle when he fought The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
That was dope. That was dope.
I felt like Bray was gonna be on the up. I feel like he was gonna be in Roman Reigns' position now as the heel.
Right.
I feel like he was gonna be that strong guy. I feel like he's gonna be at the top, and I feel like they really. I feel like they really fucked him up, man.
Right, because
like
even
a good character.
Right, because even with the loss to Undertaker at WrestleMania, he would have got a decent rub from.
He still looks strong.
Right, with having a joint with Undertaker. I mean, like, it was, the build-up was great. Undertaker was barely on Raw. Bray Wyatt carried it with his promos. He carried it with his promos, and he was great. He was phenomenal. All right, so let's see what was next on Roadblock. We had the NXT Tag Team Title match of the Certified G and the Bonafide Stud Enzo Amore and Big Cass Colin Cassidy against the Revival of Dash and Dawson. And that's probably one of my favorite matches of the night. I'm a huge fan of Enzo and Big Cass. It was a lot of like the way, and I'll give Hunter credit for building a premier tag team division down at NXT, because you've got the Revival and Dash and Dawson, you got Enzo and Cass, and then you got the American Alphas, who are amazing tag team wrestlers. And the way they built like this story with Big Cass and the Revival, or Big Cass, Enzo and the Revival, was absolutely amazing. The match was great. It was gritty. It was hard hitting. It wasn't a complete spot fest, but they got their point across. And I think, because this is like the third time the Big Cass and Enzo lost to the Revival for the NXT title, so I think they're gonna be moved up to the main roster, which will put an injection of life back in the division on the main roster. Because, you got the Usos who were, nah. All right, so next we got Brock Lesnar versus Luke Harper.
Yes.
We already talked about
it was a handicap match. It was Brock Lesnar versus Luke Harper.
It was advertised as Brock Lesnar versus Bray Wyatt. Then on the day of the show, Bray Wyatt announces that it's a handicap match. And then during the match, Bray Wyatt doesn't even get in the ring. So it becomes Brock Lesnar versus Luke Harper, which was a burial of Luke Harper. Brock suplexed him probably 12 times. I didn't even count. He F5'd him and got an easy pin.
That's all he does.
That's all he does.
That's his only literally that's his only two.
But see, people don't criticize him. People don't criticize Brock Lesnar because people like seeing him suplex people. Like, his moves are knees to the gut in the corner, suplexes, and then an F5. That's it. That's all he do. But people love it.
When he first came back and fought John Cena that first time,
yeah.
What pay-per-view was it?
Extreme Rules.
Yeah, right. Extreme Rules. He was way better, man. He had a lot of moves.
Even though he lost, which he shouldn't have, but even though he lost, he was shelling out some stuff. Like, I want to see old SmackDown Brock Lesnar, who was had a pretty decent moveset. Like, he was doing stuff. You know what I mean? Man, I don't want to see him moonsaulting off the top rope, but.
I was about to say that. I mean, I want to see another shoe start pressing. That'd be tight, that big fella. I mean, that's a big dude, man.
Right. I remember the first time, this was when they first put him in the game. I forget which one it was. It might have been WWE 13. But I think I was wrestling you, actually. It was me versus you. I was The Rock. You were Brock. No. Yeah, I was The Rock. You were Brock Lesnar. And you hit a shooting star press off the top rope. And I was like, did you add that? He's like, no.
That was his finisher, man.
That's what he had. I was like, you get out of here, bro.
Oh, my God.
I was like, that's cheese, man. What the Yeah. So Brock Lesnar was this match.
God. It looked so pretty, too, man.
Oh, my God. It was so beautiful. Like, when you hit it, I was like, wait a minute. I was amazed. I didn't even try to reverse it. I was like, it's so beautiful. Do it again, please.
Crazy.
So after Brock Lesnar, it was Stardust versus Sami Zayn. And this match was pretty interesting, only because like the crowd was dead. during the match. Like they gave Sami Zayn a pop, because he's from Canada, and then that was it. Like that, like it was pretty dead. Like the crowd was sitting on their hands, watching it. Like you would have thought they were in Japan, because Japan is known for not reacting and not chanting. They just sit there and enjoy wrestling, which is okay.
That's not bad. I mean, that's not a bad.
Which isn't a bad thing. But you think Toronto, Sammy's from Canada, you're supposed to be hyped the whole match. They were just like staring, and it was pretty lackluster. Like no fault to Stardust and Sammy, but it was the crowd wasn't in it.
Well, let me ask you this: do you honestly think that when the crowd is dead like that, do you think it takes away from the TV viewers?
I think it gives the TV viewers like, okay, oh, the crowd's not into it, and I'm not seeing anything real spectacular, so I guess it's not really a good match. Like, I feel like that's the way, the TV audience looks at it, which isn't always, right. It's not always true, but that's just the way it happens sometimes.
Yeah, they definitely have, I've seen some good matches, but just a dead crowd. I've seen it.
Yeah, of course. It just all depends on, like, what was before the match, what crowd, what town they're in, stuff like that. Like, not every crowd's going to be an after WrestleMania crowd for sure.
Right.
And then the main event, which is probably, to me, the match of the night, was Triple H versus Dean Ambrose for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Oh my God. This man, Triple H, first of all, if you know me, you know that my top 5 wrestlers are Triple H, Eddie Guerrero, CM Punk, The Rock, Road Dogg. Those are my favorite. Those are my favorite. Road Dogg is thrown in there just because he's a hilarious talker. Like, it's just the way he goes. But Triple H hasn't looked better since like 2007, right? Like he's a total badass. He grew his beard in. He's looking real rugged, He's a natural heel, so he looked dope to me. And then just the way that he was like when him and Dean in the beginning, like they were squaring up, you know what I mean? Like just like a regular fight. Dean threw a jab in, Triple H threw a jab, then like Dean threw a 1-2. Triple H threw it, like it was like a fight, and it was so dope. And like I think that's probably one of Triple H's best matches since his semi retirement. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think Dean Ambrose brings out the best out of everybody. But I think for sure that was Triple H's best match since his semi retirement.
Dean Ambrose, like I mentioned earlier, Dean Ambrose is just one of those guys. I feel like shouldn't be. He's in the spot now where Roman Reigns shouldn't be.
Yeah.
That's what I feel.
Yeah.
I feel like him. Well, Seth Rollins is rightfully in the top spot. I feel like because he's a good wrestler.
Great
but
wrestler.
I feel like he's in the spot now. He should be running the show. I feel like the show should be. He should be a focal point.
He should be what CM Punk was to John Cena. But there's got to be
able to talk.
Right, but there's got to be a better John Cena option than Roman Reigns.
Right, and I think
he should be a number 2 face.
I really think Dean Ambrose. I think he's the kind of guy. He's the perfect guy for like another pipe bomb, kind of.
Yeah. Disgruntled, upset with his place in the company, so he goes out there and because he's a great talker, he'll go.
He's perfect.
Right, like I think he's the closest thing we're gonna get to a CM Punk. I think who else No, that's it. Dean Ambrose is the closest thing we're going to get to a CM Punk.
If you really think about it, in a lot of ways, they're very similar.
Very similar.
They're both not muscular guys.
Not at all.
They're still amazing workers, the good wrestlers. They both can talk incredibly.
Right.
I really would like to see more of that like that demented Dean.
Right.
Like, when he was in the Indies, I think that's the best one.
When he was in a CZW, and he was real hardcore. Like he was like OG Mick Foley hardcore. Like he was cool as shit.
I feel like he should be WWE-ized in a sense.
Yeah, but a little watered down, just a little bit.
Yeah, but still keep that demented. I feel like we need it, man. Because I feel like the heels now are so boring, and
They're not. They're just annoying. They're not even heels. Like they're annoying. Like the whole League of Nations thing. They're not good heels. They're just annoying. Like they don't do anything. They're like
In your opinion, who's the top heel right now?
I honestly I think it's Triple H. I think he's the top heel in the company right now.
Do you
Under
think that's
him, I think it's right. Exactly. I think under him it's Kevin Owens, but I think Triple H is the number one heel.
Hold on. Kevin Owens wasn't mentioned this whole podcast.
He
deserves his due.
He does deserve his due. We're gonna talk about him later because he wasn't on Roadblock. He should have been, but he wasn't on Roadblock.
One of the best wrestlers I've seen in a very long time, dude. Yeah. I love that guy.
Yeah.
I love that guy, man.
Yeah.
I love him. I haven't seen him in many matches because I haven't been able to catch a lot of matches.
Yeah.
But the ones I have seen him in, I don't know who he fought the first time I saw him, but dude, he's amazing. I love that guy, man.
I think he did a great chain of matches with Dolph Ziggler. I know everybody was like, oh, they keep doing Owens versus Ziggler, but I think Ziggler makes anybody look good, first of all.
Of course.
But KO and Ziggler, like, I think they went like 3 times, and all 3 matches were amazing. I mean, KO, first of all, this show is called Super Kick Party for a reason, because my favorite finisher of all time, and I want to say the best super kicks it's a dead tie between KO and Dolph Ziggler. They got the best. Like when Shawn Michaels left, I was like, okay, no more super kicks. Like nobody's gonna do it as great as Shawn. But Ziggler and KO both got some of the best super kicks I've seen since Shawn Michaels.
Definitely, man.
Okay, so in the end, Triple H won, beat Dean Ambrose. Probably one of the best matches either two had for a long time. Great match. It was actually a false finish. Well, I don't want to call it a false finish. It was more like a dusty finish where Dean Ambrose pinned Triple H for the 1-2-3 in the match. But Dean's foot was underneath the ropes, so it was waved off as a non-victory. Then they had to continue the match, which I thought was, it was great storytelling because I thought Dean won, I was like, oh, the match is a little short, Dean won. But then all of a sudden the ref's like, oh, no, he didn't win. His foot was under the rope, which was, it grabbed my attention. It made me a little bit more invested into the match, for sure.
I'm happy they did that because I hate those matches when the wrestler has his foot on the rope or underneath the rope and it doesn't get called. I think that's annoying as a fan to watch that because it's just like, we all know that, this is all a story, they're all following,
Right. But a little bit of realism, a little bit of continuity would go a long way.
You got to keep things consistent, man. It can't be some one day and then, you just totally ignore the next.
Right. I know. I liked how they didn't kick out of each other's finish. I think as a finisher, only under certain circumstances you're supposed to kick out of somebody's finish. And the fact that Triple H didn't kick out of the Dirty Deeds was amazing. And then Dean Ambrose not kicking out of the pedigree. Like the finish is supposed to be the exclamation point, the stamp to the end of the match. You know when it's coming. That's it. It's over. But it adds excitement. Sometimes when you kick out of it. But I think in the way that they were telling this story, I think not kicking out of the finishes were beneficial.
You know what? I agree with what you're saying, and I feel like that kind of like those matches where they go finish for finish and they kicking out. I feel like that is only reserved for the superstars of the superstars.
Right. It keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Right.
So for spectacles like that.
Yeah, but like you said, it should be a finish. I mean, what is it a finisher for if it's not going to finish the match?
Right.
And those people that hit their finishers in the WWE all the time and that don't win matches, that's annoying too.
Right. All right, so what we're going to get into now is probably my favorite part of the show. It'll probably be an ongoing segment called Our Favorite. I think we're going to do, today, what do you think we're doing? WrestleMania moments, wrestlers, or matches? Which one you want to do?
We should start off with wrestlers. Definitely wrestlers.
All right, wrestlers.
You want to do like a top 3, top 5?
Well, we can do top 5 and an explanation why.
Okay.
I know I said earlier my top 5 was Triple H, Eddie. See, I already forgot. But I think it varies, man. Like my top 5 varies all the time. But if we talking about all time, I think it's a certain few, but they interchange places. But you go first. Go ahead.
Mine changed. Okay. All right, man. So this is in no particular order because it'll be hell to order them and it'll be unfair to myself. But I'm gonna just name them. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do one to the explanation because I don't want to forget who I said.
All right.
So I'm gonna do Goldberg, WCW Streak Goldberg. Now, as a kid, I had the VHS.
The collection.
Next?
the Who's Next? Yeah.
I watched that VHS, man. I watched that VHS until I couldn't play it anymore. I love that dude. He had some great matches. Actually, one of my all-time matches includes him. It was Sting. I think it was Sting versus Goldberg the first time on WCW Monday Night Nitro. And man, I just loved him, man. He was a beast. The jackhammer, it always looked so strong. The spear, he had the best spear. Forget Ryan.
He had the best spear. Yeah.
I just loved him, man. I don't know. I just loved him. Okay, second favorite wrestler. I mean, I said wrestler. Wow.
Wrestler. Going back to WCW.
I live in Maryland. I don't live in Tennessee. But it gotta be The Rock, man.
Oh yeah.
It has to be. It has to be, man. The best talker. He makes me laugh, even though he's kind of corny at times.
Yeah.
This new Rock's kind of corny. I don't care. I still love to do any Fruity Pebbles. Like, it don't matter. Like, I don't care. He's just awesome. He had simple finisher. Rock bottom, love it. It's unexpected. I love that I love a finisher that can pop out of nowhere. It's exciting.
Right.
Who's my next wrestler? It has to be probably Sting. I love Sting too. I had his DVD. I mean, not DVD. His VHS as a kid.
Yeah, you were a huge WCW fan.
Yeah, definitely. I love the Scorpion Deathlock. It's the sharpshooter, but it's the Scorpion Deathlock.
No, it's different. It's Brett.
Yeah.
Brett, when he gets the sharpshooter in, he grabs the legs, he bends back. Sting kind of just he stands there. Like he don't sit down. He kind of just stand up and keep it there.
I liked every version of Sting there was. The
Surfer Sting, Crow Sting.
Yeah, he was just amazing.
Well,
man.
my favorite Sting, I think, was probably the Insane Icon when he was in TNA and he had the Joker face paint. He was gold.
He definitely had the best face paint in TNA. He was mixing up the white, black, and red. That was dope. I loved him then. Who else? This is unfair. I would say Stone Cold, but it's not. He's not in my top 10. I think he's overrated a little bit. He was polarizing because he transcended wrestling. I think if he was in any other time, I don't think he'd be as popular as he was in the Attitude Era, for sure. You know what? This is my fourth, right? Yeah, this is number 4. It gotta be The Undertaker, man. Yeah. Which era? Which era? Specifically, American Badass era.
Oh, me. Yes. Because my favorite. I've been wanting him to come back as the American Badass for so long.
Man, I don't know what it was. That's a polarizing dude, man.
Yeah.
Because he still had that dead man stick about him, but he still was
no nonsense
American Badass. So
what was his line? What was his line? It was he's like wrestle me and I'll make you famous. Like what? Yeah. Like how badass is that? Like get out his yard and shit. Like yeah. This dude rode a motorcycle around the ring, guys. Come on. Yeah. Amazing. And as far as new talent, like newer talent. Yeah. Cause I got all retro. It'll have to be. I'm gonna do a tie between like Dolph. Yeah. It had to be Dolph, Cesaro. It was Damien Sandow. Yeah, I loved him, but they're fucking him up for me. Yeah, but I haven't seen him on TV either. But yeah, man, between those guys, I love them. I love their move sets. I don't remember what game it was. It's one of the WWEs. I think it was like 2K14. And downloadable content. I think that was the first game on. I loved them, man. Yeah. They had good move sets. They were just fun characters to play with. So, I naturally got drawn to them in real life. So that's my 5 right there. That's dope. All right, so let's see. My 5, because they changed so much, I'm going to just do the 5 that come to my head right now. Number 1, of course, the Cerebral Assassin, the King of Kings, the Game, Triple H, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I became a super fan of his when him and Shawn came back and did DX. That's one of my favorite stables of all time. Number 2, probably Eddie Guerrero. Eddie G. Viva La Raza, Latino Heat. La Cheating Still. I don't know why you hate Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero is so great. Like, he's the man.
He was, man. God rest his soul, but wasn't my favorite. He wasn't my favorite character.
That man, he was so funny to me. I think his stuff was hilarious. All right, number 3. Shoot, probably right now AJ Styles. Number 3 for sure. AJ is. I was a huge when I used to watch TNA heavily. Right now, I think the product is garbage. But when I used to watch TNA heavily, I was a huge fan of Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, but always AJ Styles though, because he was so dope to me. Like, you know, his
especially young AJ.
Right, and then like his intro was so dope. I used to come into class with my hood on and then pop it up like AJ Styles. Like it was so dope. Get ready to fly. Yeah, it was so dope. Number 3, I think. No, that was number 3. Number 4, I think I'm gonna do Kurt Angle.
Oh yeah.
Kurt Angle.
People I didn't think about.
Right, because that's why my top 5 interchanges so much. You know, Kurt Angle, probably one of the greatest pure wrestlers of all time. And he's so good because he can be serious and he can be comical too. Like his stuff with Vince McMahon and Stone Cold backstage during like I don't want to call it Attitude Era, but it was like Ruthless Aggression. Like his stuff backstage was hilarious. Like that man is hilarious. And then number 5, I think it's gonna be a 3-way tie between Stone Cold, Finn Balor, and Dolph Ziggler. And I think I nudged Stone Cold a little bit higher than both of them because that man has some of the best catchphrases of all time. He'd be like, what would he say? Get in this ring, son, and I'll drop you on a stack of dimes you call a neck. Who thinks of stuff like that?
Not only the crowd still to this day,
What?
Don't like him, so you know,
right.
He still has an impact on wrestling.
Right.
Even though he doesn't.
Years after he retired. After he retired. But yeah. Oh no, maybe I'll take out Dolph and I'll put in Mick Foley, because I was a huge Foley fan too. Him dropping elbows on the ground, all his hardcore matches, like, you know, I was a huge hardcore buff. You know, primarily because I was an ECW fan back in the day. Like, you had WCW, I had ECW. Taz probably one of my favorite wrestlers too. Like, he could be putting that top 5 for sure. Like, his submissions, like his suplexes, the Tazplex, like he'd throw you around any kind of way. Like, he was great. He was one of my favorites, for sure.
I gotta get an honorable mention in there.
All right, go ahead. Get you an honorable mention.
I gotta say, I know you guys might not like this. I know it might be a little taboo. I think you know where I'm going. It gotta be the great Chris Benoit.
Chris Benoit. First of all, before you get into that, this is a huge issue of mine. Right? We got a guy like Mike Tyson in the WWE Hall of Fame who was convicted of rape and attempted murder, and he's still in the WWE Hall of Fame. Then you got a guy who yes, murdered his family, but was such an integral part of the era that we grew up on. You know what I mean? Like, we grew up Ruthless Aggression. It was Benoit, Eddie, Edge, Kurt Angle, Rey Mysterio, Batista, Big Show, Brock Lesnar. Yeah. Like, that was it. So I understand why WWE wants to erase all memory of Chris Benoit, but he was such a good character. He was such a good performer that it's hard to forget. You know what I mean?
This dude wrestled through like a permanent concussion.
Right.
Like,
he wrestled with a broken neck. He wrestled with permanent concussions for years. I don't know how long. And this man put on 5-star matches.
I remember seeing a report, man, when he passed. They were talking about like his autopsy and everything. This dude was he had the brain of a
child. I think it was like an autistic child.
Alzheimer's, like 87-year-old or something. I was like, Jesus. And he would see still going out there every night, blind headbutts. One of my favorite finishers. Right. This would be another podcast. Crossface.
Right, crippler crossface for sure.
And he just an amazing wrestler, great technician. He knew how to take a match to the next level. He's always. Do you remember that? I think back in those days on the Ruthless Aggression era, SmackDown was focal show. It was the main
Yeah,
show.
SmackDown was it. Like, you know, Raw was okay, but SmackDown was the
so
shit.
I heard that he always used to flip flop brands, the easier talent. But I mean, I don't care. It doesn't affect his legacy any to me. I still love the guy.
Right. The theme song of the podcast is his theme song, because that's how much of a fan I was. Like, my favorite match, and I know this is probably another podcast, and I will probably bring it up there, but my favorite match of all time, William Regal versus Chris Benoit. It wasn't even on the main show, it was on Velocity, which came on before SmackDown on like Saturdays at like 7 o'clock. Like, nobody watched that show, but they had one of the best matches of all time. William Regal, another one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, and it wasn't even like a high spot, you know, a spot fest type match. It was like catch wrestling. It was real, like, Olympic style wrestling from a guy, Benoit, who didn't do any amateur wrestling. From what I believe, and he was amazing. I mean, the match was incredible. Like, it was one of the best matches I've ever seen. And they didn't do anything but, you know, holds and arm bars and arm drags, and headlocks, and you know, it was great mat wrestling. But yeah, for sure, Chris Benoit probably one of my top 5 for sure, regardless of his legacy after death. Chris Benoit will probably be one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And in my opinion, one day, hopefully, down the line, he'll get into the WWE Hall of Fame. All right, so we're going to get into the last segment of the show, Raw speculation, Raw preview for tonight's Monday Night Raw, March 14th. I believe, where is it at? I believe it's, let me check.
I have no clue.
Let me get the monkeys in the back to fact check for me. I don't know where it's gonna be at. Well, the monkeys say they don't know where it's at, so I'm just gonna assume that it's somewhere in this world. Monday Night Raw. Hopefully tonight we have some roadblock fallout from Dean Ambrose and Triple H, because that was one of their best matches. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure Roman Reigns is gonna return today. I mean, you know, whatever.
Who cares?
Who cares? But I hope Dean Ambrose and Triple H get that good face to face. I mean, I think Triple H garnered some respect from Dean Ambrose. I mean, like, he took him to his breaking point for sure, and him, you know, focusing on the leg and you know, getting real technical. But, you know, he's got to focus on Brock Lesnar for WrestleMania, no holds barred match. People are saying that Mick Foley might make an appearance tonight, or he might be appearing at SmackDown. Daniel Bryan might be there tonight. Oh, the monkeys are saying that it's in Pittsburgh. Oh, okay. Well, that's
a great PA.
Yeah, the great PA. I think. Hopefully, like, the biggest mystery going into WrestleMania season is Bray Wyatt. You know, like, what's he gonna do? Who's he gonna fight? Who's his next target? Hopefully, he wins something instead of losing.
To be honest, at this point, man, it doesn't even matter. All they're gonna do is just send him back to OVW and change his gimmick again.
I don't even think they do. I don't think they do that anymore. I don't think OVW is a thing anymore. I don't see that.
I guess they'll just job him until they have no choice but to find him. The stupid fuck. Oh well. It's gotten
to a point where you know what the outcome of the Bray Wyatt match is going to be, but like, you have so much hope that he's gonna win something. You know. You want his character to go over. So, like, I've never met a person. This guy's supposed to be the new face of. He's supposed to get that rub from the Undertaker. He's supposed to be like the next big thing, and he's just another thing.
Like Undertaker.
He's another thing. He's just another thing.
He was gonna be, our viewers' little brother's Undertaker.
Right.
We're gonna talk about when we're 30 and Undertaker's long, hopefully, Lord Jesus, long gone.
Hopefully, Lord Jesus. WrestleMania 45, Undertaker versus some new up and coming talent. Like, retire. You're not Ric Flair. Retire.
Yo.
Oh my God. All right, so
I think that's all we got today, right?
I think it's cutting into almost an hour. We've been shooting the shit for about an hour. This has been Super Kick Party, Bronson, and the main man himself,
yes, sir.
Lil Daddy Diesel, Lil Daddy Cool
Tiger
Diesel,
Woods, but
Tiger Woods.
Call me Lil Daddy Hot Diesel, aka the Big Con.
The Big Con.
7 cars.
7
cars.
cons.
And,
I have been.
yeah, guys.
I've been the Baron of Badassery, the badass king himself, Bad News Bronson. And this is us signing out. We'll see you Thursday. Back here on YouTube. As my man Ziggler always says, show off.